Jam Nation. This is the Songwriter Podcast.
I want to run into that Appalachian thing, like that community. I know last year you guys were doing a tour and, you know, kind of funding to fund that tour. And even I was from Australia, I reached out to John. I was like, let's do something. And John Grace, we pitched something, didn't we? And it just, everyone's like, yep, $5 here and whatever it was, what people can afford. And I think what people forget as well is like, people say, you know, if someone gives $1,000, it's not so much more than a person that gave $5, because that person that gave $5 probably only had $10 in their bank.
You know, people around here are giving what they're able to.
Yeah.
You don't have to question, like, are you really helping me out, or is there some more ulterior motive? I think there's probably not a more genuine group of people on the planet than the people who attend Laurel Cove.
Yeah, and you all find that?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, John Grace is like
Next level.
Yeah, Kentucky dad for us. I mean, he's like our father away from West Virginia. We stay at his house sometimes and bum his couch.
Yeah.
I've had his dog like lick me right up and down the face a couple times to wake me up. Yeah, they're real great people. They give you the shirt off their back.
Yeah.
Jason Parton was like giving us like crying hugs for like 5 minutes yesterday and having conversations.
Shane Cook helps us put out fires pretty much anytime I text him. Like within 5 minutes, he's messaging me back like, "Hey, so sorry we didn't already have this handled," and I'm like, "You're an angel, really."
Yeah.
Good people.
I remember the first time we came here and played here for the Bluegrass breakfast in that room, and Jade and I, my husband, who's also in the band, we were leaving, and I remember him saying, like, I think those are the kindest people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
And we still feel that way about Kentucky and Laurel Cove and just the people here. So sweet, so genuine, and we're really thankful for that. And we're better for it.
So cool. And there's a lot of the audience for you, like when you're singing as well, they're kind of engaged, aren't they? They're kind of like, when you guys played yesterday, like when you finish your song, it's like you could hear a pin drop. Like everyone's just like super into the lyrics, into the story. You find that?
Yeah, especially in Kentucky. Like that is very much a Kentucky thing. And that's why I love when we get to play like the Burl or down here at Laurel Cove, because it's such a big group, but they're also united on why they're there at the festival. Yeah. And it's just really neat. It's really cool.
Yeah, and we talked a lot about artists about like, so when you guys write a song, like it's generally, especially the music scene at Laurel Cove, everyone there's a songwriter, a poet, gone through some hurt and has that ability to then translate that onto paper into a song. Yeah. And artists are very vulnerable to even put that out there, aren't you? It's like to put that out there to the world and see how they handle it, and trying to, it's your baby and how they handle it. And I think that audience, sometimes you go into a bar or something, people are talking on the phone and you're like, I'm breaking my heart again to sing this song, and you're just on your phone. Like, do you go through that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like people yelling for what drink they want, or like another shot while you're singing a song about like your grandfather's passing is always like it's always a really... It's one of those moments that it's like, I don't normally get worked up on stage, or like I'm normally the guy that's like, just let the audience be the audience. But whenever something's like you've intentionally made this moment in the show small, so that way everybody can be basically there with you in this emotional moment. And then you got some guy in the back screaming about how he doesn't have his like tequila shot yet. And it's like, oh yeah, this song's about my family member that recently died like last week. So I hope you all enjoy this and it helps you get through something. And then you guys, two guys arguing in the background over the chair or a drink that they spilled. It just kind of takes you out of it. But we've also had fans in the past like look around and just be like, shut up to those people. So
I am one of those people. I'll be staring and I just stare at the guy. And he look at me like,
we try to... Hopefully, by being respectful during those moments as artists, we garner an audience that wants people like that will manage that for us. And I think so far that's been kind of the case. Like the people who come to our shows know what they're there for. So whenever someone else is there and they're not quite getting it, they'll maybe help them. Hey, come over here. Let's talk about how you're supposed to act during the show. Yeah. So we try to keep those audience members and keep them happy, so that way they can do a lot of that for us.
Yeah. And how do you find touring? You guys touring much?
Pretty constantly. We try to get between like 8 and 15 shows a month. Yeah. Whether we're always successful or not at that is it kind of depends on the month. But we have been everywhere. We started off this year going down to Florida and coming back. We did about 10 shows in about a week or two, and try to keep that up. go everywhere. Last summer we went up to Maine. Been to Chicago now, over in Iowa. So we've
wow.
covered a lot of ground in the last year, and it's been crazy. A lot of it's kind of hit or miss, just finding new markets and people who've never heard you before. And when you're still booking everything yourself and you decide to go play a bar in Chicago on a Tuesday night, it's a little rough.
Do you guys book your own shows?
We used to,
up till
yeah.
recently.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yes, yeah, we recently got signed to an agent. Well, not signed. I guess we don't even sign anything. We just work with them.
Yep.
They're an agency out of Nashville. It's Wasserman. I don't know why their name escaped me.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah,
That's solid.
It's made it. It's just like
So
another
much
aspect.
easier.
Yeah, that we just don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
Because now there's other things that we should have been worrying about all along that we can finally get to.
Yeah,
So there's lots of business stuff that we still have to do. It's just now we just don't have to email venues and ask them to let us play.
Yeah.
Which actually takes off a huge weight.
Yeah, huge.
That's the dirty work of it all.
Yeah.
That's what Blake used to do. That was his job.
Yeah.
Is there a network? So you start a band, or even if you're an artist, is there kind of like a network you guys can tap in to learn the business side of things, or is it kind of like we're just
It's
gonna
the people who are at this festival.
Yeah.
The people who are at this festival. For example, we played a show. I would say like one of the points where we really got connected to the network was we played a show at the Loud, which is a small, or not small, but just a local venue at our hometown of Huntington, West Virginia. And this one guy showed up from 4 hours away. And was just standing outside of the venue like 2 hours before the show was. He was there whenever we got there to load in.
Oh wow.
And I was just like, I was trying to make conversation with him because I saw this guy standing out for quite a while. And he was telling me how far he rode. And I was like, well, what's that all about? So he starts telling me that he's got this YouTube channel with other artists that he like records. And he goes around to all these kinds of shows. And after the show, he saw me and was like, man, I'm going to tell all my friends in Kentucky about this. That guy is like a guy that we see at almost every show now. His name's Kent, Kent Green. And him and his wife are just like magical people. And it's through just like, we don't really get connected online with lots of people, or at least not initially. It was mostly just like, these people are always keeping an eye out for local up-and-coming acts and just taking a chance on them. I mean, they really had no reason to come and see us, other than just maybe they listened to a few songs and I was like, yeah, that's decent. But we hadn't been playing live, really. There was no evidence-based proof to like have someone come out and really genuinely check us out. So I think it's just been word of mouth from people like him, just mostly like people who attend this festival. Probably 80% of the people who attend this festival are the kinds of people that you want, and just because they're the kinds who are going to tell all of their friends, and all of their friends are also music lovers, and they run festivals and they run venues and things like that.
It's kind of like social media. It's kind of, we built a platform. I'm not a social media guy. I loathe it. Absolutely loathe it. And when you look at it, it's like, it says how many followers you got, how many monthly players you got, and it's like how many people come to. I want to know how many people chip in to help fund the tour. As in, even as a small, but like that's, for me, that's a fan base. You know what I mean? And I always find like back in the day, you knew you were a fan because you would write a fan note. You'd put it in the mail and you'd send it. You know, you'd physically have to go at it and then wait. Now you can just get on there and go, oh, new album's not what I thought it was going to be. Or it's not the direction I was going to take. Like, I didn't, I wasn't going for the hurt for you. And does that worry you when you're writing? Is it kind of like, do you have the fan in mind, or is it just, this is ours?
I think definitely with the first album, I think there wasn't too much of that because we didn't even, we really had no plan of putting anything out. Like we were just people that knew each other and wanted to write some music, and we never envisioned touring or doing any of this as a job. So that was pretty low stakes. But, you know, as you get into it and you actually have people show up to stuff and start telling you that they like your music, it becomes a little bit harder to kind of tune it out, not wanting to write for other people, which, you know, sometimes it's good to consider your audience in it, because I think you can have a middle ground where you consider your audience, but you also stay very true to what you've experienced and what you want to write. To kind of make them work together. It's a tricky line, but I think we're like slowly finding it.
I mean, at the end of the day, we want people to listen to it, right? So to a degree, it does need to sound good. So we should care, like, is this something that people generally will be able to listen to? Like, I do think that, like Blake said, there's a lot more of that's been coming in, and we've almost been trying to figure out how much of that we need to tune out. Because it's like, well, we did this first one, and we have the audience we have now based off of an album that was based on none of their thoughts. And so now, will we betray them by like trying to cater to them, or do they really just want us to do our own thing again? And then can we even do that? So I think that that's what we're figuring out now. But I'm pretty confident. I think the stuff that we've been writing is it's pretty free from outside forces.
Yeah, we write what we want. We want to.
Cool.
We write what. Yeah.
So I'm interested in the writing process. Like, if you got multiple people, pen and paper, so how does it normally start? Do you have like individual ideas that you're like, okay, let's catch up and just put it on the table and sort it out, or is it just constant back and forth?
I would say it's like someone like we could probably start one right now, because how it starts is usually like Blake records a voice memo, or I write something down in my notes, or Rachel has just like a whole song written out, and we'll come and just be like, hey, I have this part, but it's almost like when a song needs the band versus whenever you're just going to write one out yourself. And you're just kind of like, Blake should write a verse here. Rachel should write this chorus. This shouldn't even have my voice on it. Blake and Rachel should sing this.
Gotcha.
So it mostly just starts with like a note in the phone app, or a voice recording, and we'll either send it to each other, or if we're around and someone has a guitar, we'll just be like, hey, I recently just did this. And then it's kind of like, if we get excited about it, then we'll write it. Yeah. And if not, then you either just forget about it, or you forget that ever happened, and then present it like a month later or something and see if the energy's different.
The worst is when like we'll bring a song to each other and we'll like play it, and then it's just like crickets after. It's like, oh, okay, this song sucks. I guess we're not going to write this. But most of the time, like, we'll have something recorded, and we're all pretty self-aware enough to know, like, okay, is this going to be just my own song for personal reasons, or is this going to be a Kindred Valley song? I feel like we have a good feel of what a Kindred Valley song would sound like versus what our own would sound like. Yeah. And so normally I feel like the three of us have gotten to a point where we're like, okay, I think the boys might like this. Yeah. I'm going to play it. And if they have any ideas, let's finish the song today. I mean, that's what we just did with a song I had written a couple months ago called Why I'm Crying. And I played it for them, and they were just like ready to finish it up. So we finished that song probably in less than an hour. And but I really needed their help, because I was just like, I don't know how to finish this song. I don't know how to button it up. And so,
man, that's so much maturity and confidence that you must have in each other. Because I must admit, so in my business, especially if I'm working, like say if I'm rebuilding an engine or something like that, I got a certain way I like to do things. And people are like, I'll give you a hand. Like, no, like my tool's laid out that way. Do not touch it. So it must be that maturity as well to take that input and say, it could be that. And you're going to go, oh, maybe not. Does it? And then, is there any of that friction that goes on?
For sure. And we're all we are the main songwriters, but everybody writes their own parts. And even Jaden does some like songwriting as well, like with the lyrics. And then composition, like me and the rest of the instrumentalists are always doing the composition writing. And so it is a huge, big co-write process. And a lot of us have been in groups before, so I think we've just had to learn to like, not even necessarily bands, but just like school choir, athletic teams in the past. So I think we're all familiar with how to take a little bit of constructive criticism, but a band is something whole different sometimes, because you're putting these super deep and emotional feelings into a song, and then you present it, and like Rachel said, it gets crickets, and you're just like, oh, that stinks. But sometimes it's not personal. Like sometimes like there have been songs that like I've been excited about. I took it to the band, played it, and I was like, while I was playing it, I was like, I don't think I'm excited about this one. Now that I'm playing it here with the band, it doesn't fulfill what I kind of thought it was going to. But then sometimes you do that, and Jaden is like, no, you're wrong. We're actually going to keep pushing through this song because it is good. Yeah. And then we do it, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, you were right. Good. Yeah.
That's so cool.
You got to learn to like give a little bit, but you also learn to take that's a song of ours. Sorry about that.
No,
I couldn't resist saying it once it came there. But I think that there's like moments where like, okay, I believe you whenever you give me constructive criticism. I'll also believe you if you give me, positivity. If you're giving me a compliment, like Jaden doesn't just hand out. He doesn't just say things sound good if they don't. You know what I mean? So if he tells me that it sounds good, I believe him.
Yeah. And when you're writing a song, when the song is like written complete, and they go away and put the instruments, are you guys in that journey, or does it surprise you that you get back and they go, here, we've put some sound to this? Well, essentially it's like a poem on the paper. And do you get that, experience that for the first time, or are you kind of in the mix of that journey?
Yeah, normally we'll have, we'll get kind of some basic stuff down with how we want it to sound vocally, and we'll have an acoustic part written for it, and then Jaden will take it and add like bass and electric and everything, and then we'll get a full song and a voice memo later that night.
Yeah.
And then
He's got a producer mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gifted.
Sometimes we say things like, what is this song? What do you want this song to feel like? Like we'll get super like, is this a happy, like you just start throwing random words, like the most nonsensical things out. And somehow like Jaden or somebody will get it, be like, oh, I think I know what you mean by that. And we'll just adjust something a little bit and it changes the atmosphere of the song a little bit. Things
Sometimes
like that.
too, I'll write guitar parts but I'll sing them. And so I'll be like, even for Why I'm Crying, I was like, no, Jaden, I want it to sound like da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Da, da, da. And he was like, okay. And then he just like plays it.
There's a
and
lot
I
of
was like,
that.
that's what I want. That's what I want.
How cool is that?
Because I'm not a good guitar player. But sometimes we have moments like that where the three of us will be like, okay, this is what I want to sound like. And then the boys will just do their thing in it.
It'd be like such a unique situation to hear your own song for the first time.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean?
Yes.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
So, Why I'm Crying, do we want to talk about how you wrote that? Do you want to?
Yeah. So I had written it last year, and I was driving down, going home, and I was really just struggling with a lot of different things, especially with anxiety. And my brother had passed the year prior, and I was driving down the road, and all of a sudden I had this melody in my head. I started singing, "You're Not Here to See It," and I don't know why I'm crying. And I was just really overwhelmed this day for whatever reason. And thinking about my brother, and I was like, wow, like, you're not here to be with me. You're not here to see this. I don't know why I'm crying about this right now, because I'm fine. Like, and even though I wasn't fine, I wasn't doing the best. But and just kind of wanting to encompass those feelings and put it into a song that is more upbeat, but also has just some like depth behind it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't know. I feel like we haven't really sang about like a ton of emotions in that way.
Yeah.
And so, and all of us have experienced that in some way or another. And so, I don't know. I really loved that. I loved that line. And I started finishing it, I don't know, a couple months later. And then when I brought it to the boys like a year after, I was like, I don't know where this song's going to go. And then Blake wrote a really awesome second verse, and we worked on the bridge together, and it just kind of came to life. And it is what it is
But Blake,
today.
To understand that story, where it's come from, and to take on that, to write a verse on a song like that is, for me, a bit daunting.
Yeah.
Is that what you felt?
Yeah, because you want to be able to fit it into the basis for the song that's already there, while also being able to put your own emotions and thoughts into it in a way that doesn't clash. And we actually rewrote half of my verse like the day that we recorded it, because we went out to a studio and recorded the song last month.
Yeah.
And so it can be challenging sometimes, but I think it's really cool that we get to kind of share in each other's emotions and stories and do that and kind of bind them together with the music that we get to make.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what you're talking about. So sometimes, like, I'll randomly be just working on something, and I'll just start talking about my kid, or especially my son Harvey. I have a really close connection to. He's got autism, but it brings us really close together. It's one of those things. Is like when he had it, it's kind of like, what kind of dad would I have been? Would I have been like more of an absent dad because he was fine and playing sport and talking, but now because he doesn't, like, we're really and something like, even now, like, I talk and it's just emotion, but I'm happy. I've got a healthy kid, but sometimes that emotion just. Don't know why. Why am I getting emotional talking about my wife right now?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, such a good marriage. But it is something that is brewing inside, but you have to check yourself. Maybe I'm not right.
Yeah.
As in, maybe I need to find out what that is about.
Yeah.
So that's such an interesting story.
Yeah.
There's so much like discovery, I feel like, that comes about through songwriting, and like we're trusting each other with a lot. And like these guys know more about me than a lot of other people do.
Yeah.
And you know, whenever you're like, hey, this song's about insert Family Feud that's still ongoing. Like, can we be a little discreet about it? And like, but also, can we write I want this song to feel big, and I want the song to feel as big as my emotions feel, because we're songwriters and we have very big emotions.
We're
kind of like toddlers in that way. Yeah.
The funniest thing that happens too is like this has happened before. Like Noah has brought to us a song and he's like playing it to us and I'm like sobbing, crying. And I'm like, Noah, like, are you okay though? Like, are you all right? And cause he's like telling this beautiful, tragic story. And I'm like, this is not like, what is going on? Like, are you all right? And so there's moments like that where it's like, okay, let's put the song aside. Like, are you good, bro? Like, are you good?
What song's that?
Oh, which one was that? That's unreleased.
Yeah, it's Sunny Your Days, I think, is that one
was
maybe?
it?
Or I don't know. I wrote a lot of sad sack songs this last year.
Maybe High Horse.
It was High Horse. High Horse is one. We have been doing that one live recently.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
It's so that one is one that I wrote kind of from the perspective of it's myself. As the song goes on, I'm kind of giving advice. I have an older brother and a younger brother, and I leading up to being in the band, I've just lived a lot of lives. That's a whole other podcast. I have a million jobs.
We'll get you back for that one.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. And there's just a lot of mistakes that I made that I are very simple, like looking back, very idiotic things. But I see family members, specifically my brother, sometimes fall into the same patterns because we're very similar people. And so it's more just a collection of advice and things that I wish I could actually say to them. But maybe because some sort of weird, I don't know, masculinity issue or pride issue, I just don't, and I can't. I think that's what a lot of my songs end up becoming, is things that I probably wish that I could say or had the ability to say, but don't. And High Horses, it's all just about kind of letting go of your pride and don't wallow in this self-pity alone. You need to find a way to get out of it, because I was there and it went down a really dark path for me. So if all you have to do is come out of this basement for a little bit, or if all you have to do is get out of this situation for just a week, that's what it would take them from me. So if we can do that for you, I think that it would help. All you have to do is just admit that you're ready to come down off your high horse.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I mean, I talked to other artists about it as well. It's like the most outlaw thing to do right now is be authentic and be yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it seems like the world and social media just kind of like rams you back into your door, because like you come out here and make a mistake, we will crucify you.
Yes.
And you don't. You're like, but I'm learning. You know what I said yesterday is probably, I don't probably think that now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm constantly evolving, and that's such.
Yeah.
So when you're bringing that one out.
You know, I don't know. We haven't. We've got so many new songs that are coming out right now that it's like it's hard. Because we've been playing that one live quite a bit. But then you write that one, and then you write another one, and you're like, I'm really excited. You end up having like too many to hold.
Yeah.
And so like we're kind of swapping that one out with other ones right now in the set, and rotating other new ones that we're excited about too. So hopefully they'll all be out kind of at the same time, sooner rather than later, because we're all writing them around the same time. Yeah. But it'll definitely be after the next thing comes out, which is why we have a single and then another project that we're working on for the fall.
Oh, wow.
So we're excited, but we plan on releasing a lot more music a lot quicker. So hopefully these new songs that you hear won't be new for so long. Yeah.
No, yeah. We're going to have you guys back on. This is awesome. I mean, I've run out of time talking to you, so I want to keep talking. I think great stories. But you guys will play us a song?
Yeah, we'd love to.
What do you guys want to play?
What should we play?
Feels like 1921 is probably best in this setup.
Deeper down I dive into the smoke. I trade my life and break my back just to mine some coal. I try to keep my head down and do as they please, but a bald and Phelps with a gun on his belt's got his eyes on me. It gets hotter and hotter the deeper we go, and we all go down. If you come up to see you one day more, and the company man will tell you otherwise, but ask any man with a pick in his hand, the devil's in those minds. Below in those minds, the lead men alive, They're hungry for souls, black lungs for black gold. Can't get out, I've tried. You're gonna man down on the courthouse steps. No, you can't get away, and you killed in your fight. A man who's killed is replaced. Gets hotter and hotter the deeper we go, and we all go down. If you come up to see you one day more, and the company man will tell you otherwise. But ask any man with a pick in his hand, the devil's in those minds. 1 million rounds and 10,000 men climbing up on a mountain, guns are raised, 100 dead. And now they're taking us down in cuffs and chains. But life in the pen is better than a cold, cold grave. It gets hotter and hotter the deeper we go, and we all go down. If you come up to see one day more, well, the company man will tell you otherwise. But ask any man with a pick in his head. The devil's in those minds.
Thank you for listening to the Songwriter Podcast. You can find out more about this artist in the show notes, including links to their work. Rob Hillier is the host of the Songwriter Podcast and the founder, CEO of Jam Nation. Brad Luttrell is our executive producer. Jacob Bozarth is our co-producer. The show was recorded and edited by Sam Tucker with Tucker Creative. The show's incredible intro vocals are by singer-songwriter Emily Jamerson. Thank you to Pine Mountain State Park for hosting these conversations and Bell County Tourism for helping us coordinate. This show is brought to you by Jam Nation. If you haven't heard of Jam Nation, it's an app not just for fans, but fanatics. Jam Nation app tracks your listens, it connects you with other top fans, and it helps you earn not only bragging rights, but you're going to get exclusive access to content, tickets, and more. We're always adding in new features, so it's going to continue to evolve. This is your chance to get in early. You can download the Jam Nation app from the app stores right now, and many of the artists that are on this show and coming on this show are already there. If you enjoyed this episode, we really would appreciate a rating on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you're listening. It really matters. I promise you it does, and it helps the show grow, gives us traction, and gives us social proof so that we can continue to go out and get more songwriters on the podcast. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you soon on the Songwriter Podcast, where we explore the life behind the lyrics.